Hi, I'm Sophie, and I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm here to help with that. And we are
SP Film Viewers.
when you're walking down the street and you see a little ghost, what you gonna do? You call Ghostbusters.
Well, this is just going to confuse everybody.
Why is that?
Because we've already covered Ghostbusters. Wasn't that like our
eons
second
ago, yeah.
episode?
Yeah, the start of our journey. But this is a line from one of the characters in this film, who is misremembering completely what the theme song.
To be fair, I'd be like, oh yeah, that sounds about right.
This is one of the things that's quite interesting in this film, like how we kind of misremember certain films or like iconic scenes and stuff from films. But today we are talking about Be Kind, Rewind, 2008 film by Michel Gondry. This one is kind of like a bit of a oddball comedy, but it's kind of got a certain charm to it, I think, really, because it's like another one of those movies about movies type of thing.
You love those, don't you?
Yeah,
like, you proper love them to bits. Like, if it was a thing where you could pick for a movie to be about a movie, you would watch them tenfold over compared to just like a normal movie.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like those things where you have like loads of references, and it's look, there's that thing from that other film.
I feel like it was wasted on me though a little bit, because like they were doing all these films and I'm like, I don't know them. I don't know it. It's like, even they did Men in Black, and I'm like, I don't know what part you're doing in Men in Black here, and why you're not in suits and, you know, wearing the glasses. Like, literally, that's... So I do feel, for me, I'm being kind, but maybe I need to watch more films to be able to feel like I enjoy the rewind of this film.
So the term Be Kind, Rewind is referring to...
You sure it's not like the Keep Calm and Carry On? Was that around this 2008?
No, I don't know, to be fair. No, it wasn't. No, it's nothing to do with that. But it's a term to what video stores used to do, in the fact of because of the fact you had to rewind VHS tapes to the beginning to watch the film again or whatever. So it's a thing for video store returns. You had to do that so that the next customer could just watch the film straight from the get-go rather than having to rewind the film.
Even
and
though
maybe
it's not really hard to rewind it, to be fair.
I know it's not that, but you'd be like, especially if you were looking at the screen while it's rewinding, you'd be like, oh, this. And I know it's all blurry and stuff, but it's kind of like, yeah.
Oh, I've seen a bit that I should
yeah,
have
I
seen.
mean, yeah. Just a courteous thing for them to do, but.
Did you ever? Are we old enough to have gone to like Blockbusters? I feel like that was still more like digitalized.
It was definitely
like
DVD times, which this was obviously around the time 2008 was a kind of a point where DVDs were more commonplace, really, in overtaking VHS. But the VHS was around 2008 was like they stopped making them at this point anyway, and it was now going into the digital thing of DVDs.
Do you feel old that you know what VHS is? Like, I was growing up on like Disney on VHS.
Yeah.
100%.
But they were like, I remember them used to be. It's crazy to think that those were like 20 quid a pop, really, for new releases and stuff. But it's the same with DVDs. When they came out, they were really pricey, and now they're like dirt cheap compared to Blu-ray.
Oh my goodness! Do you know when I used to buy 4Ks, they used to be like,
I know,
in
30 years time, it's like now they're like 2 pence.
And there'll be this new thing that probably won't even be a disc. It'll be like something
VR or something else. I don't know. Yeah, who knows what the next thing will be.
But I know that with the VHS, I used to love the little flap bit that you used to have to pull down.
Yeah, like a post box.
Yeah, like a post box. When I was little, I used to use it as a post box. I would put things in there. marbles. Surprised it still worked. Even Mum's Post sometimes would, if it arrived, then that would be grabbed and put in the VHS because to me that was my door. Such a naughty child. You would have never done anything like that, would you, with your little halo?
No, don't think I would have done. But I don't remember what my first VHS tape will have been because I would have been too young, but I remember my first DVD purchase.
Do you? I don't even know if I've done... I don't know. How do you remember this?
Because I guess I was of an age where I was kind of like more consciously
was it
like...
Pokemon?
No, I wasn't, sadly not. Although I did have on VHS, of course. Can you
give me a clue so I can try guess?
We've covered an episode on it.
Oh, that's getting harder to pick down.
In Monster March this year. We had a guest.
You had a guest.
Oh, that's got a really narrow it down.
Okay. Got it. Jurassic Park 3.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Oh. Hey, I'm good, mate, aren't I? Thinking, who was the guest? God. That seems like a while ago, that does. I do put Monster March back to the back of my head, to be fair. Just like what's going to be coming up next month.
Yeah.
Anyways, going on to this movie, I do digress. So, Fats Waller is very well known in this film and throughout.
Yeah.
He was meant to be born and raised in this DVD or VHS store.
In the building, yeah. Which is
prior to obviously it being a VHS store. And clearly that's a fib. It's not true.
Just that right there, this getting to the end already. It's like it's not true at all.
Not true. And then you've got a couple of characters. So you've got Mr. Fletcher, who is the store owner of the VHS store. You have Mike, who is like his assistant.
Yeah, you probably won't know him, but he's like a rapper by the name of Mos Def.
No, I don't know him. No. Is he good?
He's alright, yeah. He's quite a good flow. He sounds like he speaks, obviously, because it's more like a rap thing rather than singing, so if that makes sense.
Who does he sound like?
I don't know. Just Mos Def, I don't know. I can't really...
That's helpful!
Yeah.
And then you've got Jerry, who is the amazing Jack Black.
Yeah, and just to be on topic of recent events, I've realised from watching the Nintendo Direct that was on recently that he's going to be playing Bowser in the new Mario animated movie coming out next year, which I kind of... It's kind of funny, but it's like so weird to get, but not as weird as the fact of Chris Pratt being Mario.
He's not even Italian, I don't
which
get
is
it.
like, I burst out laughing when I heard that. I was like, what a choice.
Feel like Bowser for Jack Black, I feel like he will pull that together. All I can think of is that song that he did,
Tenacious D.
Best Song in the World.
Yeah, just that, just, I don't know, it just seems so odd, but...
So I feel like that's going to be a bit of like a hip kind of Bowser interpretation.
I'm both scared, like anxious, scared, but also kind of excited to see how this is going to... There's no trailer yet, so I'm waiting for that to drop and be like, I'll get the tone of what it's going to be like. And
oh God, we're going to be going to see this, aren't we? Probably.
But yes, Jack Black is in this, and...
I do like Jack Black, but I like Jack Black in The Holiday and School of Rock.
School of Rock's good, yeah.
And, Gulliver's Travels, is it?
I know he's in it, I've not seen it myself. But...
Good. There we go, film you've seen. I've seen, you haven't seen.
There you go.
I don't know what else.
Write that down somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, they're rare to come by.
Yeah.
I don't know what other films he's been in apart from those.
There was one he's been in with Ben Stiller.
Well, I'm not going to watch that.
Tropic Thunder.
That sounds crap. And
I think like you would probably absolutely hate it, but
Ben Stiller is the next one for me after I forgot his name. Adam Sandler.
You forgot. I can't believe how much you bang on about Adam Sandler. You forget.
The back of my head.
I can't believe that.
But yeah, there's kind of like that level of humour that's just irritating.
Okay.
And I feel like Jack Black's humour is brilliant. when he's got a really good script. It's really funny.
Mm-hmm. I was in Goosebumps. Remember that one? The recent-ish, the retelling. The kind of film that I would have loved as a kid, but seeing as a more adult, it's a bit like, it's a bit, corny. But yeah, he's generally good in my eyes, and Tenacious D is hilarious.
Yeah, it is, and his humour is normally funny.
Yeah,
and it's not like he puts it on, like Adam Sandler or what's the other Ben Stiller. It's all an act, and it's really forced for the laughs.
Yeah.
And it's like, whereas Jack Black is, I feel like it's just in
his
bones.
Yeah. Natural.
It's got a funny bone, yeah. Mm-hmm. However, in this one, there is a bit at the beginning. I was a bit worried, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I kind of forgot how silly it was in parts. I think you're meaning, like, when he goes to this, cause he works at this, like, junkyard car place.
Well, doesn't he live there as well?
Yeah, in a trailer or something. But he wants to destroy the power plant because of the government conspiracy and all that kind of stuff. And the bit I'm presuming we were getting shocked, and that's a bit like,
why isn't he dead?
Yeah, like very obviously like that wouldn't happen. That's unrealistic.
He should have died.
Yeah.
Unless he's a cartoon character like the Looney Tunes, then he should be fine. Mm-hmm. Also, it's just some of the levels of extremes that this goes to. Mm-hmm. So, for example, like then he becomes magnetized or something. Yeah. Like gains superpowers, but what good are they actually? These being magnetized powers are.
But this is the whole crux of the film, isn't it? Because
But I don't get it, because it's like, well, why would anyone want that? Like, if you wanted a superpower, you wouldn't pick that, would you? Because
no, well, of course, no one would pick it. Yeah, but he didn't pick the power, did he?
No, but it's so it's like, I feel like it doesn't benefit him whatsoever.
No, it doesn't. It's not a superpower, though, is it? It's not meant to be a superpower. I feel
like if you get a gift of something, like you've survived being struck by electricity,
just a side effect of the fact that you're still alive. It's just like, an inconvenience.
Is he not Thor now? Like something to do with lightning or? I don't know. I just feel like he's been, I guess, somewhat punished. But
well, yeah.
The way that don't get me wrong, Jack Black does it brilliantly. Like, oh look, there's a lamppost, I have to cling to it.
Yeah.
But it's that kind of not funny humour for me personally.
Yeah.
It might really make somebody else laugh, but I'm just like, really, your whole body's gonna literally kind of go towards a lamppost.
Yeah, and doing like I'm being sick, and it's like, oh, he's gonna be sick again, but not like actually showing the sick, because that again would be stooping to Adam Sandler level.
Yeah, but it still gets to a point of where I'm like, I will look at you thinking, why have you put this on?
No,
I'm not gonna like this.
There is a reason. It was more obviously getting into the latter parts of the film where it's a bit more.
It felt like two different films to me.
Yeah,
like the beginning part I could have done without. The fact that he erased all of the actual VHSs, I was like, oh, for goodness sake, you're kidding me.
Yeah,
couldn't leave just one.
I know.
Because poor Mr. Fletcher wanted Jelly not to be in the shop.
That's right. Yeah.
And Mike just wanted to do a good job, which everybody normally wants to do.
Yeah.
But, how realistic... I don't know. Is that a thing? Like, with VHS, if I got a magnet...
Yeah, of course it would, yeah. Because the tape in it is very sensitive.
Is that the same with, a film negative, then?
Yeah, but it would be, yeah. Like, how it's very flammable. Film reels are very flammable, because they've got the... the
chemicals and everything.
Yeah, on the print.
Process,
yeah. But because he's wiped all the VHS tapes, they've got practically no stock in the store.
But wouldn't you buy more then, instead of thinking you're going to recreate a film? Wouldn't that just go on? Except
for the fact at this point, like I say, you've got stores that are selling DVDs now, and there's literally no VHS tapes to be found.
Even though it's a good bargain.
$1 to rent or something.
For a night, is it, or something like that for a day, or $1 a day?
Yeah.
I don't even think you can actually stream anything online now for £1.
No, not that you get a deal on something like
We're still
Google
not
Play.
That cheap. Or maybe 99p, maybe, possibly. But how often do they come through?
Not very often. They're normally whack films.
Yeah, they don't give you the good options, do they?
No.
But it just reminds me of Blockbuster, the good old days, where you would go to a shop and you would have a bit of a mooch around, check what movie. And I really like that. I miss that interaction of picking up a case and reading the back, unless you've bought loads. I feel like you're my new equivalent of
Blockbuster, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pay for
Yeah,
rentals. No. It's just me who has to suffer the price and everything.
Sorry, it's not really suffering, is it? Because you want them.
No, I know, but you know what I mean.
Don't try and get your little violin out. I have to suffer buying DVDs. What a load of rubbish. Humanity. I'm going to deck you for saying that. I've got that on tape now, or whatever you want to call it.
On audio.
Oh, it sounds a bit weird. I prefer the word tape.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm so old school.
I don't think, to my knowledge, there's only a couple of times they did like rental stuff, but it wasn't like a Blockbuster. It was more like when the co-op used to do them, and they had a very small selection. But
my little corner shop used to do it too.
Yeah.
You go in, you get some popcorn. We literally walked there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same.
And then you could just bring it back. But I used to go to Blockbusters for. You're gonna laugh at me. It was more video games.
Oh yeah, they still did those. Yeah.
So I used to love Herbs. Do you know what?
Herbs. It's a Sims type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but it had Black Eyed Peas in it.
As characters or the music.
I think Will was one of the characters, and then I think the music was. I never saw Fergie, unless. But to be fair, the annoying thing is, I used to have to start the game over and over at the same time. I don't know why I just didn't buy it, because I'd go and rent the disc.
Okay. Did you not have a memory card?
I think it's because it was a different disc every time. It started you off again.
Oh, did it not save your data?
No.
Oh, okay. That's odd.
No.
I feel that's a memory card issue there. Because surely the game wouldn't kick you back to the beginning for that. But
no, I used to have to start it all the time from the beginning. And you know how many times I used to go every week and it's like, why didn't my mum just buy me it?
I know, it would be a lot cheaper. But anyway, back to the film at hand. Because of the fact that all the tapes in white, they think the best thing to do is do like guerrilla style filming of what they have to offer. Like, I forget the lady's name now, but it's Mia Farrow, who's the older lady who comes in.
Who's like saying, you need to
sort
your stuff
out. And she wants to rent Ghostbusters.
Why? It's all the new craze at that time. Apparently, it's the newest movie you can out on VHS or something.
Well, that's clearly not true.
That's what they were saying. She'd never seen it before.
Well, I think I was trying to put her off it, really, because obviously they're in a bit of a bind with getting stuff. So it's like, well, we've got like so many hours to either find another copy somewhere else.
On VHS.
On VHS. It has to be specifically VHS and that's not going to happen. So it's like, right, okay, I guess we're just going to have to film it and she won't know what it's about because she's never seen it. I have a gripe
with this.
Yeah.
Would you not know that was Jack Black on the screen?
Of course.
Would you not know it's the guy that you're talking to?
In the shop, yeah.
In the shop?
Yeah.
Is she going to be that thick that she's like, oh, I didn't know you starred in Blockbusters. Oh, not Ghostbusters.
Blockbusters. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying, yeah. It's guessing there's some sort of suspension of disbelief with that or something, or she's just really dumb.
Like, I am a bit blonde sometimes, like I've just said, Ghostbusters or Blockbusters.
Uh-huh.
But I think I'd know that. Like, I recognise faces.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like that slides with me very well.
But am I the like craft with it? Because, you know, like with limited resources and limited time, they're kind of just having a bit of fun, really. It seems like, you know, like a home movie, like a 10-year-old would do type of thing, you know.
Have you ever done a home movie?
I did a very rubbish film studies project and like submitted for like coursework and stuff. I think you've seen.
With your little brother in?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Your dad didn't participate though, did he?
No, he didn't.
And so you had to get this random man to play your dad.
Not random man, but
so
a friend of.
Where can everyone find this, Paul, if they want to go and see it?
I don't even know. It probably still be lurking on the depths of YouTube somewhere, but I think it's called. You'd have to search like Paul Parks Downhill. I think is the short film is called Downhill, but
if you can find it, we're going to have to post a link. This.
Yeah, I guess so, because it might be really difficult to track down now with how the algorithm of stuff works, because it's not on like an old channel that I can access anymore. So,
but no, that is quite a fun little watch. And your little brother He's not that tiny anymore, but he's dead cute in it. So I feel like they do make a good effort with the film.
Yeah.
Really do think they do that brilliantly. However, the bit that does make me laugh, and I did ask you, was for Ghostbusters when they've got, I don't even know what it's called, like a lightsaber, I don't know.
Like the beam thing, they have like
Yeah.
tinsel to do like the crossing the streams that are coming out the gun.
So what's with the tinsel? So you have to explain that to me. That was a bit wasted on me. But they even did the scene where the encounter was first ghost.
Yeah, the library, yeah.
Yeah. And I really appreciated that. They did go in. It felt like I was watching Ghostbusters in the end.
Yeah, that's the one they spent the longest on, obviously, because that's the showing the process of how they're doing this, and then obviously doing shortcuts of other films they kind of, what they call Sweded. I mean, it was
what does that mean?
It's just a term that they're using because they're trying to cover up the fact of, it's, like making these unique films, so it's got to be Sweded to make it that way, especially, and that's why it's costing so much. It's coming from Sweden, even though it's not. It's just a way for them to make
and they're trying to
the costs back on for the costumes and everything, all the production they've got to do with it, even though the films are like 20 minutes or so instead of like hour and a half, 2 hour films. So it's kind of getting duped.
20-minute film.
Duped out of that.
Which I really wouldn't mind.
I think they mention that, don't they? It's like, people have such short attention spans these days.
Yeah, but that is true, and you want kind of. I feel like they did capture Ghostbusters within probably.
In whatever they showed. They showed like the main bits, didn't they? Yeah,
they did.
There was another part that, around this point anyway, there was a bit of a silly moment I'd kind of forgotten about. It was obviously when Jack Black's got a headache and take a load of pills or whatever, and like drink this salt water and stuff to make you feel better, and then he goes to throw out in the street again, and also takes a piss, and then the piss then starts to become magnetic as it kind of leaving his body, and I'm thinking that's a bit like far-fetched.
That's when we kind of get the girl as well, isn't it? Within this.
Yeah, because they need like a.
What's her name again?
Alma. So
they feel like they need a female lead in the scenes as well.
Because they're doing, was it Rush Hour 2?
I don't know what that is. This is the thing with this film. I feel like I needed to see more films before I watched this film. But the pee making the car bolts go down the and the amount of pee that were coming out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I
was like, nobody pees that much. Like, I can pee for Britain, but I can't pee that much.
Yes, that's what I mean. So it's a bit like
Also, the way that we're trying to shoot in dark, but they didn't have enough time, so going back to the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And putting a negative on.
Yeah. And
then photocopying the faces in black and white.
Yeah.
So that it would then pick it up.
Look like, even though it would.
I don't think that would work.
Didn't make much difference, did it? No.
But I don't think that would even work anyways, because it'd still show up as a negative, even though you're thinking, I'm reversing it. It's still, but I feel like, who's watching these films thinking, that's definitely dark now, because he's got a green face?
You work with what you've got, your materials.
I'd rather just put up a dark screen or something and mess around with a bit of lighting to make it dark.
I know, but you've got to give them there's no time to mess around with that stuff. You can't wait till night time.
No, I'm not saying wait till night time. No,
obviously, if you were doing it in a way that allowed you enough time to do it, but have the guerrilla style of doing it on the streets or whatever, and limited resources, but you had a bit more time to just do it for a bit of fun, then you could probably do mess around with techniques and stuff. But the fact that I hadn't seen some of these films they were mentioning before, and I tried to make a note of some of the ones, because there was a whole list of us they were kind of like reeling through on this stuff, but it's like, I don't know what that one is, like, I don't think I've seen Rush Hour, the first one. I haven't seen Rush Hour 2, so that was something I haven't seen. I certainly haven't seen Driving Miss Daisy. So.
No, neither have I. I think I should be saying I have seen rather than haven't seen, because that's just going to be going on forever.
Yeah. So I did note some other ones down though. I haven't seen When We Were Kings, which looked like some kind of boxing film.
No, I'm not interested in that.
But I've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, King Kong, which you've seen.
Yeah, but that wasn't really that hard to gather the gist of King Kong, is it really?
No. Because you were going, I don't get this. Carrie.
Haven't seen it.
Might be something we do.
I know there's
RoboCop, which we did
which
with...
still didn't dawn that was what we were trying to do.
Well, obviously, because...
I thought it was Terminator or something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past anyone to be thinking that initially. That's probably might be what he's going for, because, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's literally... I haven't even seen Terminator, so I don't know why. It shows how much RoboCop stayed in my head.
Uh-huh.
But
in a good way or a bad way?
In a bad way. To say that I'm thinking it's Terminator and I haven't even seen that.
Okay.
Not great, is it?
And then the Men in Black, like you mentioned.
Yeah, so they could have done them wearing the suits and the glasses.
Yeah, doing something.
I don't know, Galaxy Defenders.
Even just doing something with a pen or whatever.
Erasing your memory or something.
Yep.
But is that like going through space or time or something?
No, it was going through, if I remember correctly, when they had to press the button to make the car go really fast and going through a tunnel, and they went on above the cars that are in the tunnel and going really fast, and that's what it was supposed to be like speeding through. That's what it was doing. I've
seen Men in Black so many times because it used to scare me as a little child.
It terrified me. That's one of the things that did moments that really genuinely made me cry upset.
Oh, bless! That's so cute. That makes
it feels really stupid to think about it now, but it wasn't really that scary. But to me, it was really scary.
What with the aliens coming to get you?
No, well, not really. That it was a scene where the alien that's inside the guy, and he does I can't remember. It wasn't even that bad, but some comes out from the mouth or something. It really freaked me out.
Oh,
that's a really
that's so cute.
But everything else was fine. But I think it was just the fact that it was this alien that was inside the guy, and it seemed like a bit so strange. And
what about when they were dancing?
I don't remember. You mean the little tiny ones?
They used to dance to it, unless that's the music video.
Might be. I don't know.
Dancing the Men in Black song.
It sure sounds about right if it's the Men in Black song. But
they seem to want to have Jerry's autograph now. He seems to become a massive star.
Yeah.
And always wants the lead role of, of the film.
Yeah.
And actually people are enjoying the Swedes.
Yeah, the Swedish films, yeah.
Yeah, more than the regular films.
Yeah.
I think it's their creativity, it's the way that they're portraying it. It's not as putting all the best bits into the film.
Almost like a highlight reel of the film and stuff. And as the thing goes on, it's like getting people more involved in it. So they can be part of it, or they can create something for it, which is kind of nice because obviously that's sort of giving back and having that level of extra enjoyment from the process of either seeing them or making the films.
Yeah, exactly. But I do feel like they're being shafted a little bit. £20.
$20, yeah.
I don't think I'd pay $20 for a home created film. I'm literally paying £1 a minute.
But you get that with these new, because of the cinema thing being a bit, these premiere movies, premiere rentals of films these days now, isn't it? Where you're paying £15 just to watch it on your home screen, and it feels like.
Okay, though.
Sometimes it's like, am I gonna? It's so odd because obviously go to cinema, it seems okay to do that, doesn't it? Because
you're going out.
You go and see it on a really big screen as opposed to just
you've got the
watching
sound.
What you're watching, essentially the same with on Netflix. You're doing for the same.
It's technically cheaper.
I know it's technically cheaper.
It depends on how many people you've got watching it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because your cinema ticket can cost you about £12.
Yeah, it can.
If you're going to the fancy cinemas.
Just for one person, yeah.
Yeah. Then you've got popcorn, which we know cinema food is not cheap.
Yep.
They put it on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually £15 and you can have 4 people. That's a £5. You can't go to cinema for a £5 unless you're a pensioner.
No, I
don't think they get that, do they?
No. Unless you get a very special discount on
unless you work
old
there.
tickets. Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So they're earning better business now than the shop has ever, because obviously they're charging £20 per rental.
Mm-hmm.
If they carry on making loads of these Swede kind of adaptations.
The idea is obviously to be able to keep the store intact, so to speak, not get rebuilt, renovated, and knocked down and whatever, because obviously it was in dire need of repair and everything. It's just unsightly to the neighbourhood and everything.
I don't think it is, but I think obviously if there's jobs that need doing, then you need to make sure that it's safe for your customers to enter the premises, because you could get sued if the roof caved in on them.
Yeah, but it comes into light about the stuff when you're saying about suing stuff, because almost like the FBI or not quite then, but what I mean, like the people who were like copyright infringement people are coming in like saying, "Oh, you're doing a bad thing here. These bootleg tapes shouldn't be made because of the property of the studios and stuff, everything."
So is that because they are recording over what would have been that film?
Yes, exactly.
So if they'd have got a new tape and readaptated
a blank
the film,
tape, like a blank tape from a shop,
then that would have been okay.
I don't think so, because it's technically still owned by the company. The fact that it's still a bootleg version of a tape that they're doing.
But what does bootleg mean, first of all? And also, is it because
unauthorized recording of?
I feel like that shouldn't be getting sued by, unless they're doing really well. Maybe that's why they're thinking, "Hey up."
Yeah.
They're actually making more profit off the film. But loads of people do that, don't they? They copy things. There's so many films that copy one another.
And pirated stuff from like these torrent sites and stuff.
Yeah.
But
so I feel like this is just being blown out of proportion. For example, wouldn't, like when we said our previous episode in Willow, shouldn't Lord of the Rings be getting sued then? Time and time out there again? With everything that they kind of copied?
It's not quite the same.
Don't they? Like, oh, you've got that similar beat in the background.
Oh, artists have done that. Yeah, the stories of that, isn't there? Like, oh, it's generally those people who are like, oh, we didn't have a hit, but
Taylor Swift
allegedly pinched the same rhythmic stylings of what I did in a song that nobody got in the charts. So it's someone bitter is just trying to make some money. Is basically what it is. But this it's slightly different with films anyway, because there's a lot more involved in it. Like a lot of time and money goes into making films and stuff. So it's
saying it doesn't in music. Well, unless you get in Drake's new album, that's
And interesting enough, I don't know why. It could have been anyone who's like the main boss lady coming in to say this, but it's Sigourney Weaver came in to just to be the bearer of bad news on the store. We're taking all the tapes, and you owe us billions of dollars and stuff.
31.5 billion, in fact.
Okay, that's a lot.
Which, who has that money in the bank?
It's almost ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah.
Because they've made over 200 films now.
Yeah.
It's not worth it in a sense, but really, to be fair to them, if people are enjoying watching them and they're just a readaptation, I feel like they should be allowed to get away with that. Well, it's improvising and being creative. It's not like word for word, is it?
No, exactly. I know it's not the thing. It's like, so there's no FBI warning at the front of the tapes like there normally is or used to be. Like do not copy this tape, any footage of that, or don't play this in a public place. No, you do. Well, there is still sometimes those labels at the beginning of tapes. If you still buying even Blu-rays or whatever, and they still sometimes have those. But
even like when you're in cinema, I don't think the pirate copy thing.
No, not for those. No, it's different.
It's like, please don't sit with your camera filming.
Yeah, they have the adverts, don't they, to tell you that. Please turn off your phones or whatever.
No, but I mean, they used to have a thing of don't video film.
Oh yeah.
But they don't do that anymore now. I think they're just like, oh well, people are going
to do it. People still do it, yeah, still do it. It's a thing that they can't sort of be stopped, unfortunately. People are still going to find ways to pirate stuff online and
with music as well.
And just
so I really feel like the ending of this film. So even the Swedes, I feel like that's like okay. I feel like it's a bit wasted on me because I don't know all the films. And some of them that I do know, it's like I don't really know what part of the film it is.
Yeah.
I really feel like this comes into a different movie at this point.
Yeah, when definitely more the community is involved in making this almost like making a fresh film that's never been done before, which is kind of like the life of Fats Waller, who lives in Passaic, I think is what it's called, this town in New Jersey.
But not where these guys are. It's not in the flat though, is it? Where they said he grew up.
No, exactly. It's like a what if alternative story of it, I guess. Really.
So
it's not.
He never lived there.
No.
Wasn't even.
It was just a means of just making the shop a bit more like, wow, this is a iconic place to go.
Yeah.
But so it's sort of like a retelling of the story, which is fair enough. You can do whatever you want with your own personal.
You're making a no story, aren't
you?
You're saying, oh, what if this would have happened?
Yeah.
Then X, Y, and Z might have come to fruition.
Yeah.
And I do really like how everyone
gets involved. Yeah.
I feel like that happens more so though when it is a community like that is more sprung together when they want to fight for something, or somebody's struggling with financial aid or anything like that. You wouldn't see that kind of sort of community if you were where Beyonce lived and had like mega bucks.
Well, no.
I don't feel like that would come together as much. They'd be like, oh, well, you can do it yourself.
Exactly.
You know, spend your own money, stop wanting to waste mine. Whereas everybody, we're going to give their last kind of dollar or pound.
Dollar, because they're in America.
And put time and effort into helping somebody. And I think that's what really, really turns this movie around. Because at the moment, it's like, well, you're wasting your films on me because I don't know them. And then Jack Black is meant to be best one, and he's irritating the hell out of me because he's magnetised to hell and he's being sick all the time or pissing. And
yeah.
It's like, come on, you've got Jack Black, utilise him properly.
Yeah, and the other bit I obviously do remember, it's kind of sticks out really, is when he wants to play Fats Waller and he comes in the bit of blackface, and it's like, oh dear, he'd be cancelled if that was done today.
It's a bit cringe, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
it's not completely black, but it's obviously a light colouring, but even so, it's a bit like, oh gosh.
I don't know how. I'm hoping it might not be taken the wrong way, just because obviously he wants to play that character.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a case of we don't want to utilise somebody of colour because, we can't, for whatever reason, they're not doing that.
Yeah,
it's more of somebody actually wants to play a white person, wants to play someone of colour, which should be a compliment, I'd feel.
In a way, but
because it's more one of those things where we're not saying that somebody can't act, so that's why when they used to do that, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They used to do the blackface.
Yeah.
They wouldn't hire somebody of colour to be in that role, which to me is just dumbfoundedly stupid because, well, why not? Like, we actually, just digressing, we actually did watch the other day did you say it's not a documentary, it was a Billy Knight?
Oh, you mean the biopic of United States versus Billie Holiday?
Yes. And I'm a bit ignorant, possibly, but the way that she kind of was portrayed and the song that...
Strange Fruit, yeah.
She couldn't sing, and all of this kind of, the hardship that she had, just kind of shocked me to the core that people even think that.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy that they would be like, you can't sing this song because it's to do with
the truth.
How real it is. The fact that this is occurring, it's like, oh no, can't be saying that. It's just too shocking.
Obviously, within this film, we don't have Jack Black playing Fat Wallers. Obviously, Mike is the role, even though he's not very fat.
I think that's why Jack Black wanted it, just because of the fact that he's fat, so I'm fattish, so but that's not really a good excuse to do that, really. I feel like people can do all sorts. You just put on a costume, make yourself fat if you need to be.
Exactly.
That's whatever. So.
And I feel like it meant more to Mike than it did probably Jerry. Yeah. I feel like Jerry just wanted to always be in the lead
limelight,
role.
Yeah. So
they break in to get a projector. This bit cringes me as well. The amount of glass windows they've
that was another bit, yeah.
I was like, ugh! I hate it. It's like, oh, there's another glass. I'm like, oh, well, because you couldn't see that through the front door and the window, could you?
Yeah,
Clearly. I just don't even get me started, Paul.
No. But another factor with that, though, which kind of shows the way that even with a fairly new DVD store business coming in to replace the VHS, the guy who's owning the store is sleeping in the back office. Because when he's rumbled, as it comes out, it's like, oh, are you sleeping in here type of thing. So he's obviously on rough times.
Yeah.
Meaning that even at this point, it's on that kind of thin ice in terms of like the blockbuster thing is a bit kind of like the charm's wearing off a little bit now type of thing, even though it's like that early, before the 2010s and stuff.
Before you could start streaming
And
things.
Yeah, when that was sort of taken over. So it's kind of like, yeah, that sounds about right, because going out of fashion now.
Also, I feel like maybe the Swede films were taking off so well that nobody wanted to see normal films. It could
Perhaps,
be that, like they could be putting them out of business, so to speak, as well.
Yeah.
So you could have been struggling, and then this has just curved it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But nicely enough, he doesn't want them to. He doesn't want anyone to know that he's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of says, "I'll replace the windows. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But can you leave the projector here?" But eventually, he does bring it round, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
For the final kind of.
Yeah. For everything they've done. Again, there was definitely more the guerrilla style film. Like we said about in other films, like in was it Chungking Express, where it's kind of like filming without permission to do stuff, because obviously they're like filming the streets and the police are coming. It's like, right, quick, get out of the way, just get the shot, and then go and doing stuff. Yeah. So there's a lot of time and effort gone into making this thing. The whole community's come together doing this, and these really innovative techniques. These like the mechanical fan doing the spinning,
that
like
was so clever,
and the string to make it look like it's the scratches on the film grain.
Yeah,
and everything.
Really trying to make it in black and white and old school. Yeah,
to do prefer. And then it's like that at the very end is kind of like what's the most sentimental touching part of the film. Really, is kind of like is that bittersweet factor that the film didn't actually make enough money. From putting into from the beginning, but it's kind of like you reveal it's like, right, the building's going to knock down anyway, but to let these people watch the film, they've put their heart and soul into making this, let's just enjoy it type of thing. And then it's obviously like the music's swelling and stuff, like, they're kind of reminiscing, sort of laughing along at what they're seeing on this thing. It's kind of like oh, that's really nice and sentimental and sweet. And then they kind of hear the whole, almost like the entire street, like, or the community who outside who haven't been involved, like applauding because they can see it on the glass protection. It's
it's like a big cinema for in and out.
Outside, yeah. So it's really nice that the community's like really appreciating this slice of fiction that's taking place in the little town that they're in, and it kind of feels like you feel like the building's still going to get knocked down, but it's kind of like that. Well, the guy who came in and said, like, "What are you still doing in here?" type of thing. It's kind of like congratulating him for doing such a good job and everything. It's a bit
I feel like it doesn't get knocked down.
That's a nicer way to think about it, but it's...
Yeah, I feel like it's actually like okay, maybe we need to help him work on this, or maybe the building gets renovated and he can move back in.
And do something else, or just new technology or something, yeah.
That's the way I want to see it anyways.
Yeah, more like lighter wave.
Always. I'm the positive in this film review.
But that's really, it was more the back end, latter part of the film that's more, I feel like you would enjoy more.
100%. It felt like two different films to me.
Yeah.
It was the annoyance of the beginning, and then the end where it comes with the community, creating something that you haven't seen, which is actually visually pleasing, really funny and clever.
Yeah, and everyone's involved in it, and it's like, I'm super proud that here's my part coming up or whatever, and it's really
it was
cool.
lovely. Yeah. And I feel like that's something that community should do. And I feel like it was one of those little heart kind of...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of
clenching films. And it's like, oh, okay, this has really turned a different pace that I wasn't actually going to see happening. So
yeah.
I'm grateful for the ending.
Yep. I'm interested to know now what your scoring is for this. Really?
The beginning would have been a 6.
All right, okay.
Or a 5. Depends on the sick and the pee. I feel like it was getting really, really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I can't score it massively high. I'm sorry.
I don't expect you to.
I
I'm
feel
not
like
gonna.
it's mediocre. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like a middle for diddle score. It's not cracking, but it's not really, really crap like a 5.
No, I wouldn't say it was that terrible. No.
I think 7 would be my score.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that our guests previously, like John, has done like 7.4 or 7.9.
No, I mean for Willow.
Yeah.
9.4 it was or something.
Something so precise.
Yeah.
But to me, 7 is solid enough for this. I don't think I can push it to a 0.5.
Whereas that's more for me, really. That is what it is, 7.5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry too much about like rating it really, really high. It's not like it's nice to come back to now and again. I've seen it a few times now, but it's always that. It's more the latter part I enjoy them more, especially as the fact of like creating the film, the homemade film
which
style.
You've done, so you know what effort that takes.
Going in. Yeah. But obviously I would love to be doing, even if it's just like a retelling of a classic film or something, then yeah, that would be a lot more fun because you got something to really work with. Whereas what I did for my short film was like my own script, storyboard, and everything
it's not
like
that amazing.
It's really not. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece. It really is not, and it's just like it's so cringe when you look back at it. But
it
it's
is.
like,
but you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, but not that I'm planning on making a feature film anytime soon or anything. But I really just wanted your thoughts on this one because it's just more like a light-hearted one, especially as we're going into the Halloween season, and just more of an indie charm to the film and to see how you took to it. Really,
I'm not in love. I'm in love with the ending. I don't know if I'd want to see it straight away. I would love to see some more films so that I would get that value from it because I feel like a lot of the creativity was wasted.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there wasn't like some of the picks they did weren't super obvious anyway. Like the Driving Miss Daisy. I'm maybe totally wrong in saying this, but I'm not thinking, oh yeah, that's something I must definitely watch to understand type of thing. Or
no, but I feel like some of
the other things like the listing, it's like I don't know clue what that is type of thing, and it's like for us like all of 3 seconds of what they're showing in a makeshift thing. It's not exactly like I really need to check that out based on that type of situation. So
true, but I just think it would be nice to get the whole benefit of the film.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. But you've got like Ghostbusters there as the obvious one, and like King Kong, it's like everybody pretty much.
But no, overall, I think Jack Black did a really good role.
He was alright, yeah.
I feel like he was probably the most standout one for me as a character. Did really like the girl as well.
Yeah, she definitely added to it.
Kind of put him in the place. Her and Mike were going to get together at one point as well. Like there was going to be a moment, but that didn't really happen.
It wasn't forced.
It seemed to be somewhat implied, like he could have kissed her, possibly.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to see where that would have
more development,
panned out. And kind of happy that it doesn't leave me knowing which way it ends, which is weird for me to say, because I'm just going to go with a positive spin. Because I feel like it ended on a positive note.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel more positive that he could have actually moved shop or been able to be given another chance with the store to renovate it.
Yeah.
Steady 7 for me. Is that okay?
Yep, so 7 and 7.5, just a little bit higher just because of the film factor that's going. It's not perfect, obviously. It's just a light-hearted comedy, and that's all it is really. And it's just
that's what we needed before we get into the scary months.
Yeah.
I love October, but you ruin it for me. Evil.
Yes, I look forward to what we have in store for that. It's some picks. I'm going to give you a list of things to pick from. There's always loads. There's always loads for horror.
We'll have a month off. No horror films.
No.
Not
happening.
I feel like I should have some reward for watching these films, especially around Halloween.
My Eternal Love. What?
No, that's not good enough. Unless you're going to make me breakfast for like a month. Anyways, let's not look forward to Halloween whatsoever. Let's just go to Christmas.
It's not far off anyway.
No,
Just 2 months. So thank you everybody for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and you can check all our other episodes out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and wherever else you might get your podcasts from. And of course, as always, you can follow us on social media under the handle SP_filmviewers on Instagram and Twitter.
Also, we have a lovely Buy Me a Coffee page. So if you want to be ever so kind and buy Paul a pumpkin spice latte or whatever they are, then he would definitely appreciate that. He did a lot of work in getting my birthday special out there on my birthday, and cramming that in to edit it, because that was a long one. So if you do want a long ramble, then definitely
that was our
out.
longest episode as well to date. So
world record
talking about rom-coms.
Oh, she can talk all day about a rom-com.
And lastly, if you would be so kind also to just leave a nice 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser, that would also be very much appreciated, because that helps us get seen by the algorithm.
However it works.
Yeah, and gets seen by more people or heard by more people, and that's what we want to keep this growing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And if you want to leave us a lovely little comment or recommend any scary films to Paul, I'm sure he doesn't need much help. But if you do want me to watch anything, then just drop us a line, probably on Twitter or Instagram. It's your best bets.
Yep. So this is episode number 90. So 10 more to 100. So woo! Countdown begins. So I might be doing some more little reminders of posts of go check out previous episodes.
Can't believe you're going to be 100
I know.
soon. It's ridiculous.
It seems so crazy that we're going this long, but enjoying it.
I don't know. Maybe I'll stack it in. That's only because it's coming up to October. Don't make me too scared.
Can't promise anything. But I'm here with you, so it's alright.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, everybody, for listening, and we will speak to you next time.
Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And we will speak to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.